going to start off by priming out the eyelids. This is a very important step for this Halloween look and any look, to be specific. It will help the eyeshadow adhere to the eyes, so make sure that you put it all over the eye, so from the side, the upper lid, and the lower lids, since this will be a slight dramatic look. Now I'm going to be using a true orange color. This one's matte, and I will be applying this all over the eyelid only, so the almond shape of the eye. And just take slow sweeping motions. Next, I'm going to be using a lighter orange. I want to create a gradient effect on the eye, and I'll be applying this only in the inner and middle of the eyelid. And slowly the pumpkin eye shape will come out. Next, I'm using a darker orange, and this one is shimmery, and I will be applying it on the outer corner of the eye. Again, I am creating a gradient effect. Next, I'm going to be using a copper tone brown to further darken the outer side of the edge so that it looks like the light is hitting the pumpkin. Next, I'm going to be using this angled liner brush, or use any brush that has a fine tip to create the vertical lines found on the pumpkin. This will help make the pumpkin look more realistic and more obvious that it's a pumpkin. And I am using a dark brown eyeshadow to create this effect. Feel free to use black if that's what you prefer. Brown just seems a lot more subtle and more natural. Next, I'm using a light brown color for the crease, or a little bit above the crease, just to make it a lot more wearable and just to wrap up the look altogether. Feel free to use a darker color for tonight, and that will create a more dramatic effect. For the highlight, I am using a very light white color. Right here, I'm going to be touching up my eyebrow and just follow the shape of your eyebrow to incorporate this look. Next, I'm going to be creating the stem of the pumpkin. So this is where the fun begins, because you start putting your artistic abilities to work. So again, packing green color for the stem will ensure that this look is going to last all night. The more color that you apply, the more it will last. I'm also putting in a little bit of brown to give that gradient effect on the stem as well. Right here, what I'm doing is creating a little bit of design on the side of the eye, just to make it look more Halloween look, so that it's not just plain and simple. My artistic abilities are not that great in this particular video. What I did first is I applied primer to create the shape of the design, and then I'm applying the green eyeshadow on top of it so that it'll stay and it'll have a lot more pigment showing. Feel free to do whatever design you want to do. Get creative with this look. It is Halloween, and you want to make sure that you stand out if that's what you want to do. Next, I'm going to be applying an orange on the lower lid. Use whichever orange you want to use, whether the light, the dark, whatever you prefer, and just take it all throughout the lower eyelid. I'm using this finer brush so that I can get it more precise. And just continue to pack it on. Next, I'm going to be using a highlight on the inner corner of the eye. This is so that the look can be more put together and you can look a lot you can look wide awake, and make sure that you bring it a little bit towards that lash and just continue to spread it until it looks blended in. Moving on to the cheeks. Since this is Halloween, it doesn't matter if you put on a little bit or a little too much. You want to be creative, you want to have fun. It's the one night that you get to do whatever you want, and people should be okay with it. So I am using a bronzer first because I want to make it look very dramatic. I want a lot of emphasis on my face. So applying the bronzer. Next, I'm going to be applying a pink blush. And this blush is like a Barbie color. It's a true pink color. And I'm applying it directly onto the cheeks and then spreading it up towards the temple. And just patting it so that it's fully blended in. Moving on to the lips. For the lips, I am going to be using a very subtle nude lipstick. And I am going to go a little bit neutral on the lips. I'm not going to do something bold. But if you want to do that, feel free. Make this look your own. I'm going to blend out that lip color with a lip brush. Actually, I'm using a concealer brush for this, but make sure that you use a lip brush. But what I am going to do with this lip look is put a lot of shimmer to it. So I'm going to use a lip gloss that has glitter and just apply it on and make sure that it looks very glossy. And this is going to be absolutely beautiful for Halloween. And this is the finished look. So again, neutral lips, pumpkin eyes. Be creative, do whatever you want, and make sure that you rock this Halloween.